All right, just posting this to Instagram. Get in front of more people. Let's see. Here we go. All right, just going to do some live sourcing today. There's so many sites that are off. Rakuten's having the 15% cash back. So I hope everybody's loading up on that. I'm just going to pick one or two of the sites and just do some manual sourcing on it. Hopefully, maybe find something. I don't know. I figured it's worth looking. There's so many sites. I mean, there's like just the headliner ones there's at least, 15 to 30 sites that are 15% cash back. So if you're not taking advantage, well, then definitely need to start sourcing from these sites or go replan some of your products that you have from these sites. So that way you can get the cash back because I've already gotten over $1,000 in cash back just because I have bought so much from these sites in the last 2 days. So let's pick, let's see here. We got Urban Outfitters. We have CVS. We have Finish Line, Banana Republic. Let's see, HSN. We have Nike, Under Armour, Adidas. Let's try. I think I'm going to pick Finish Line for now. So let's just try that. Let me share my screen here. There we go. All right. So got that 15%. First place will start is just the sale place. Let me pull up something on a different screen here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with sales. I will just kind of look through and see if there's anything that's worth it. For me, I'm kind of not lowering my criteria on the keep it charts, but if something is, a little bit lower percentage, but I know I'm getting a ton of cash back on, maybe that's worth it to me. I can afford to get a little bit less ROI if the cash back is big enough. First thing I'm seeing here is $30 of these fleece joggers. I know we're going into like warmer seasons, so not a ton of people are buying buying like pants right now, but definitely worth checking out. So we have $60 on this. I don't think that's good enough. Let's see. We have some Court Visions for 55. All right. Let's take a look at the Club Fleece. So the blacks, grays. Oh, okay, here we go. We have, what's the difference between this one and this one? Black, white, gray, black, black, white. Look pretty similar to me. Anyway, $30. The 2XL is the only size available. I guess we could double check if the 2X is worth it. Otherwise, so this is the listing we want. Yeah, 19K. It's definitely been better in the past. We'll see. What do we see? The 2XL, $55. Not amazing. Basically full price of what it normally is. We can look at the Keep a chart here. Let's see. Yeah, 55 is basically what we're looking at. So let's see. We have 29. Yeah, so we would have to get this again for, what were we getting it for? 35. Let's see, 30. Sorry. So then 30, 27, maybe we can look for gift cards, maybe card cash. And hurt to double check. And that finish line, they have 4%. Can search that. Let me double check something quick. Okay, so 4%. If we find one that's okay, so we have some pretty big gift cards, so we should be able to get 4% on top of this. So 104 multiplied by, oh wait, no. Sorry, we would want to do 30 times 0.96. So 2880 at 55, we're looking at a 33% ROI. Again, not a crazy high ROI here. But we see that it was 47 in the past. The offer count's pretty low. Again, 27 is not amazing. This type of clothing item definitely sells better, in the wintertime. Like we can see, I guess it's hard to tell with that giant spike there, but you can see December, January. I mean, this rank is like sub 2K. Right now, we're sitting at like a 20K rank, which makes sense. So, I mean, there's a lead right there, 33%. We got almost $10 profit on the 2XL. So cool. First product we looked at. What do you know? So let's go into one of these categories here. Buy one, get one 50% off. I like the sound of that. So we'll look at some of these items here. Teas. So buy one, get one is basically a 25% off discount. So let's look at, what did it say? $30 basically. Maybe that's discounted a little more. So each shirt's like 22 bucks. A little expensive for a t-shirt, but let's look into it. Again, these look like just different colors of the same shirt, but I know that t-shirt's on Amazon. Futura t-shirt as well, but not that same color. This one might be. Let's take a look. 30 bucks is just really expensive for a t-shirt though. So it's actually cheaper than 30. At least the gray is cheaper than 30, plus the buy one get one 50% off. So let's see here. This looks like a match. We got the Sportswear Club t-shirt, $15 max cost. Yeah, so this was like 20. Let's see, what would we need here? If it was like 25 times 0.75, only at 18. So we would need this to be like 22 bucks. And then that puts us at like a $16. Hopefully we can find one that's a little bit more expensive. So let's look for that. So again, on something that's like clothing, especially Nike, sub 10K, you're going to get a decent amount of sales. We can go fairly deep into the variations. So let's take a look at that and remember that. So we're looking at 29, 32 for mediums. That's good. XL 41. So that's, we'll take a look at that one first since it is one of the higher variations. And then let's see. So hopefully this price is actually, as high as it says. Looks inflated recently. Like I don't expect this, the offer count's really low. So $41 might actually stick, but 30 is probably a little bit more reliable of a price. I mean, let's just, for the sake of the video, let's look at like the $41 as our buy cost, or as our sale cost, just because there's so few sellers in this listing. I don't know why there's so little. I'm assuming you can buy this most places, but maybe just not profitably as of recently. So again, let's like see what they actually are charging for this. The black t-shirt, maybe that's not part of the, yeah, so the black is actually still $30. So buy one, get one, we're only getting this for $22. Or it's actually $22.50, but we still have that gift card, remember, for 4% off. So we're actually getting this for $21.60. There's a 36% ROI. Again, a little bit low for like clothing. I'm not And especially if this price is inflated, like if we did see prices back at $30, this is definitely not profitable. Might even lose some money. Yeah. So we're like losing 40 cents. But at this point, basically, 2160, we would only be profitable if we're a little bit higher. So maybe that's something we would want to avoid. But if we were able to find like this variation, let's see if any of them else are like C price. Because if this starts lower, we can afford a little bit lower buy box price just to still be profitable. So let's look at some of these other variations. Hopefully we can find some of the grays or some of the whites. So white, 30 bucks, 26, too low, 27, 26, 32. So again, like I said, the variations, we can afford to go a little bit deeper on the variations because the rank is so low. So for like this dark gray or the gray large might work for this. The navy large might work. Again, gray XL. So let's look at the gray large just to make sure, because we have this C price and bag. I'm assuming it's only going to go down to $25, but then we can afford to go a little bit lower. And we have that gift card, so we just got to keep that in mind. Looking for a 1628 cost, which isn't crazy high. I mean, this thing has been selling at $42, so that's interesting. 38, 34. So for some reason, some FBM sellers, maybe they're just FBA sellers are out of stock, or they're not getting the buy box, but could potentially sell this thing at $42.99. Unwind Travels, love the content, man. Thanks, appreciate that. Hopefully this video, I know there's not a lot of viewers, but if people are rewatching it, it's going to be very informative on how to source these sales, manual source. So that's what you're going to get out of this. But so this video here is or this price here, $42.99, $32.99. I feel like $32.99 maybe isn't super sustainable. Let's see what everybody else is selling at. So there's like one FBM seller at $32.99. Next highest is 34. So if we really didn't think we could sell a little bit higher, I think we could probably get $39.99 out of this if we were able to get it there quick and in stock quick. But if we went with $34, basically now we're looking at a $17 max cost. So let me just add this to the cart. We have large, so we'll just add this to the cart just to see what the price is, and then we can go from there. So it says 30 bucks still, so maybe there isn't a discount. Let's see. Promotional discount plus estimated shipping. Let's add a few more to get free shipping and then see what we have. So, oh yeah, what is that? I'm not doing quick math in my head here. 90 divided by 4, 2250. So not quite low enough on this variation. 22, right? And does this include, I'm assuming that's the buy one, give them 50% off. Doesn't look like there was actual price drop from this C price and bag. I think that was basically still at $30, which is unfortunate. Let's go to the comments here. How much profit per unit and ROI you shoot for? Some shirts like these are tanking in consideration returns and possible tanking. Yeah, so for clothing, I'm definitely looking for a little bit higher ROI. What I mentioned earlier was I'm okay taking a little bit like into the 30s in ROI on like certain clothing items just for these 15% off sales, because I know there's you can get so much cash back here. And if you're still like making a little bit of money on something like this, the cash back is like free money to you. So you're going to make so much more on top of that. So whatever profit you're missing out on a clothing item like this, your 15%, you spend $1,000, you're getting $150 in free money. So it's just that side of it's worth it. Normally I'm going a little bit higher on clothing, but for this purpose, I'm taking a little bit lower just so I can make sure I'm spending on these 15% cash backs. Do you think the 15% Rakuten cash back is good enough? Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm trying to only source the websites that are offering this 15% cash back just because you're trying to maximize the amount of free money you can make off of this stuff. And again, if you're buying leads that are going to sell and make you a little bit of money, then you're going to make money on the item and you're getting this huge cash back. So you might as well take advantage. and really only worry about the sites that are offering that 15%. And then you'll be pretty good from there. So again, a product like this, we're looking at, again, this is like an FBM seller this low. We do see a lot of FBA sellers at that 42 price. Shouldn't really expect to sell it at 42, but for the sake of just our calculation here, we're looking at 22.50 for our buy costs. We have the 22.50, but you also have that 4% gift card, discounted gift card. So 21.60. Again, 32% normally is way too low for something like this. But if I really want to get that Rakuten cash back, and I can do even a small test buy, right? If I'm buying, it's got to be an even number because you want to get that buy one get one 50% off. But if you're buying 6 of these just to start, at least you're making, you're going to potentially make 42 bucks plus you're going to get, over $40 in cash back. So based on how much you're spending. So basically doubling the profits, and the cash back kind of goes right to you. I don't use the cash back into my profit calculation. So I'm not, multiplying this number by 0.85 just because it's not reliable enough that you're getting the cash back every time. And who knows if there's some glitches that, Rakuten finds with the 15% and they retract the money. And then all of a sudden you are only profitable with the cash back. Now you're kind of missing out on some money there. So, or the profit calculation is not what you thought it was. So that's why I don't do that. Let's just see. One thing we can do, 8K is a little high, but what I also like to do is sometimes, like if you think you can sell most variations, 8K is decent, especially we're going into summer. Maybe t-shirts are going to start selling a little bit better. We actually sort by the highest buy box, and we just make sure that the ratings on those products have some sort of reviews in them, right? And we can look at the actual ratings to see like how many reviews a product has gotten recently. That's what I kind of use this chart for. So we can see, this product got its first rating basically in the last like 2 weeks. But again, 1 is just not enough to pull the trigger on. But hopefully we can find something that has a few more, like 8 is a little bit better. We can see that, they got most of them basically between March and April or beginning of April. So, that's kind of, it's not good enough for me. Ideally, we find something that's at least 1%, not less than 1, and has a decent amount of reviews or ratings, at least recently. That's going to give me enough confidence to say this is definitely selling. So right here, like this black XL sitting at $41. It's getting a ton of reviews, in the last 3 months. Has a nice uptick here, and then, kind of still showing that it's getting reviews over the last couple of weeks compared to something like this that, hasn't gotten 1 review or 1 rating in the last 3 months. So Joji, how's it going? Thanks for joining the stream. Hope you're taking advantage. Hopefully there's some cash backs on some of the sites you're buying from too. So let's see. Again, I don't think I'm going to find anything. 39 bucks is still not super low, especially when the black is like sitting at 30 bucks. Buy one, get one 50% off. You put it at 22.50, and then maybe we could get right like this 39 bucks. And again, it has to be like pretty profitable, or it has to be pretty consistently selling at this price for me to even consider it. We see like it's been at like 30 bucks in the past, just not good enough. 31, 30. It's really inflated now because there's not a ton of sellers, but when it's such an easy find on a site like Finish Line, and they're doing the buy one, get one 50% off, like this $41 is not going to stick. It's not going to probably last. So again, it's already at 37 here. So if we expected 37, $18, right? We can't even get there with a gift card. So probably something we want to avoid. It was good looking at this listing, and we, potentially had a couple that are sitting at like a 33, 35% ROI, but the price isn't super sustainable. Again, something like this could tank really easily, and 33% normally isn't enough margin. So if you do get tanking, then you're going from 33% all the way down to like 10%, when ideally we getting a 50% margin on a clothing item. And then if it does tank, we're going down to like a 25 or 30%. And then, you can afford a return or two without actually losing money. If you're buying 10 or 15 of these at a time. So product we will skip for now. This t-shirt we'll take a look at. What's the longest you hold clothing for if the price starts to tank? Depending on the product, I'm normally dumping clothing as quick as I can if I see the stuff start to tank, because there's just not a good, like, if it starts to tank, normally like so many people are jumping on the listing. So it's like, there's so many people that it's going to take a while for sellers to drop back down to levels where the price would increase. So you just don't, I mean, it could be 6 months before that happens, could be 3 months. So I'm just trying to, get, even if you miss out on some profit, I prefer to like get my inventory out of there instead of holding and hoping that it goes back up, because it just might not. And then you just learn from that experience. And if you actually do sell out, even if it's at a lower margin, or if you're break even, get that money back. Now you know what you learned from that, and you can buy better inventory next time around. Unless you hold it and then it just sits, and then all your money is held up in bad inventory. That's not going to get better anytime soon. Or you can sell out and reinvest in better inventory, make back the profits you thought you had on that product. So sportswear t-shirt looks like similar style here. So we'll take a look here. 6K ranks. So that's a solid buy. But this one, buy one, get 50% off, $15. We got to find another t-shirt at like $40 buy price. And hopefully the chart looks pretty consistent, but might be a little tough to find something that's that high of a buy box. But again, we're going to sort, because it's under a 10K rank. We're going to sort by the current price and hopefully find, a 1%, 2% variation that actually has a decent price here. So let's see, what colors do we have? Black, gray, and white. Okay, simple. So the black extra small, which do they even have extra small in stock? Not for the white, for the black either. Nope. Okay, so extra small is hard to find. That's probably why the price is so inflated. There's not a lot of stock. But let's see here. We have the black extra small. Yep. The red we don't have available to us. And that jumps all the way down to 42, which again, we're getting close to that price where it, like, the profits just aren't good enough. Large, tall, I don't even think we have those kinds of sizes here. Gray 36, large, tall. Yeah, see, 2X. So maybe that's our first one that we found, right? Is the 2X. 2X is out of stock on this already. So maybe the right sizes people have already bought out, or they just don't have a ton in stock. But looks like this product we won't be able to find at a price worth purchasing. So we will keep moving down the line here. Again, I don't think a ton of t-shirts are going to be worth it for us. There's only 2 pages of them. So we can start looking at different products after this. So let's go to, we'll go back to sale, because we want to look at the stuff that's discounted, especially, potentially like Air Maxes to 40. There's probably not a ton of products to pick from there. Looks like they're clearing out of their winter clothing and stuff. New markdowns up to 40%. Let's take a look at that and just see if there's anything, that we can notice and maybe find here. So potentially we could find something. Is this the kids version? No, it's not, but let's just open that up and see. We have a hat here. Sometimes hats, this is like half off. So I know those Heritage Age 6 ones are decent. We just got to find the right listing that matches. A lot of times with hats, you got to make sure that the like the snap, if it's a snapback or if it's a flat brim, you got to make sure you have the right ones. So we're going to open a couple of these. Looks like just like the same hat, just different colors. They're putting them on different listings. But let's just open a couple of these ones that I know could be decent. And then, maybe find something there. I'm not sure about this one, but there's almost 20% off. So that's a good sign. We're sorting by relevance too. We could sort by top rated, which maybe, is showing us stuff that sells a little bit better, or, or we could just, sometimes like sorting by just the most relevant, everybody's doing that. So they're all going to find these same products. And if they get impatient, they're going to basically look through the first 2 pages and then get bored and move on. So if you can get in front of some different products than everybody else, and kind of stick to it, you might actually find some better products and ones that not every single person is going to find, right? So, like this is interesting, like a flat brim here. Millennial Money Mom, hey, what software do you use to track profit? I use Inventory Lab. Basically, my prep center also uses Inventory Lab, which is really nice. Basically, when I buy a product, we have a spreadsheet that we share, me and the prep center, and they're inputting. I put, the product and the ASIN and then the buy cost and what I want to list it at, of course. And then they're inputting all that stuff in the Inventory Lab. And then I can just see, as stuff gets listed and stuff starts to sell, Inventory Lab tracks all of that right there. It's linked to your Amazon account. So Inventory Lab can see what your stuff is selling for. And then, of course, what we in the prep center put in as our buy cost. It does all the calculations, it tracks returns, all that stuff. So you can kind of get a snapshot of what your profit is over time, which ASINs are more profitable than others. Definitely recommend Inventory Lab if you aren't using it. If you're a super beginner, it's probably not super necessary at the beginning, but you definitely want to be able to track that stuff, and Inventory Lab is pretty solid for that. So do you ever think about allocating some money and buying some of the winter clothing since it can be so cheap? Um, if I'm going to do that, if I'm going to buy winter clothing or stuff that's out of season, it's probably going to, I'm going to list it. I don't want to hold on to stuff because I'd rather be buying inventory that's can sell, right away. So I don't plan on hoarding unless it's like maybe a couple of years ago, like buying pools after the season, right? And then holding them through the winter and selling them in the spring. That did work out for me. I tried that once. But yeah, like joggers, like there's joggers still sell in the wintertime in the summertime. So it's not like the worst product to buy, but there's definitely better products to invest your money in. So I'm not like specifically looking for these unless I find them super cheap, or like sweatshirts and stuff. It's just not super popular. You can see the rank kind of goes up over time in the winter and then it starts to go back down in the fall. So I would definitely focus on, more the stuff that fits the season a little better. You're going to just have better luck with moving stuff. Let's look at some of these products we opened up here. So we have, let's see, Blazer Mid 77. We're just looking at, okay, so we have big kids and men. So we can look at either. We got women's here, women's. Let's see if maybe the kid sizes have a decent opportunity here. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so if we had the women's sizes, 6K rank, that's really good. I don't think I see. Okay, so there's men's. It's just labeled weird, which may be a good thing. I mean, maybe less people are finding it by searches based on the title being different. But 13K rank, still solid. 56 max cost, though, that's going to be tough to beat, especially if we're sitting at 105, right? But we'll just open it just to be sure. And then maybe we can, maybe we'll have some luck. So again, we'll go right to the variations. On something like this, you just got to sort by the max and just see if it's even worth getting into. So we're going to skip all the ones with like no reviews or no ratings. We just want to find ones that have some sort of review or rating so we can have a good sense if we can even buy something that's worth, that has some profit to it. So not seeing a ton. This is like the first one that we're seeing here. It's $146. 32 reviews, but it hasn't gotten any recently, which isn't a great sign. Probably means that it's low stock, which people have the price jacked up. And then, people aren't willing to pay the inflated price. And therefore a lot of people aren't actually buying this, at this inflated price. Let's look at the Keep It chart. Maybe that'll get my point across a little bit easier. Okay. So yeah, see, it was like 119 and there's not a ton of sellers on here. So they inflated their price. Looks like this AC Resale Solutions is kind of the one listing it super high. If we look at the sellers on the listing, yeah, it's one seller, probably has, a good amount of stock, has it priced super high. I mean, you can price it whatever you want if you're the only one on the listing, but what we've seen is that this one's not getting a ton of reviews as of recently. So 146 definitely could be profitable if we're getting this at like 95. Let's see what was the price on this. So 105, again, we have a gift card for 4% off. So if we go 105 times 0.96. So I mean, oh wait, what the heck? 105.00 times 0.96. We're only at a 15% margin. Not, not good enough for me. And that's even at 146. So if this one's not profitable and it's kind of a slow selling variation, then you definitely aren't going to find any better ones. Again, this would have to, at the current buy cost, like if this is as low as we can get for 105, you should see this and say, well, we would have to basically be at like 160. Even that's 26%. For shoes, I like to be 40% minimum, and it has to be a pretty solid shoe for it to be that. So let's see, where can we get? So 43%, 180. None of the shoes that sell quickly are at 180, so this just might not be a good flip. Why do a lot of people flip shoes? I mean, shoes are just you can have stuff that sits like there's definitely shoes out there that is like a sub 20K rank, right? This variation specifically could sell 200 times a month and you're making $43 a shoe. So there's a lot of like profitable shoes out there, and you do some digging, you can find some good deals on shoes. Tons of websites sell like Nike shoes, Adidas, Asics, New Balance, whatever it is. There's tons of shoe brands that are, good online arbitrage brands. If you can find them at the right price, you're going to make a lot of money. They just get a lot of returns. You got to keep that in mind. The shoes definitely get a lot of returns. And by a lot, I mean, you can get certain shoes, could get returned. If you bought 10 of them, you can get 2 returns out of 10. Sometimes you can get up to 4. But if you think about it, right, like let's say we bought 10 of these, right? So initially we think make $438 on this, which again, 43% ROI. We bought them for 100. Let's say 2 of them get returned and they wore them for like a week. And then all of a sudden they just decided to return them. They didn't like them. They didn't like the fit, but the bottom has a couple dirt marks on it, right? Scratched up. It's technically not new sale anymore. So if they were to return this, basically you're getting the shoe back to your house as unsellable as brand new. And then the best you can do is like sell it on eBay as like slightly used or used like new. But anyway, let's say you just can't even sell it. You're losing basically $100. And if you get 2 returns, that's $200. So now your big $438 profit basically turns into 238 or even less. And that's if you only get 2 returns, you get 4 returns, and basically all 10 of your sales equated to $0 in profit. And you went through all the hassle of, getting the sale and sending stuff into Amazon and all that. So it kind of takes away from, all the amount of time it takes to get your money reinvested and get your investment returned to you. So if we are buying bad investments and it's not getting our money returned to us as an increase, then it's not worth it. So a lot of pros with shoes, also a couple cons that definitely scare a lot of people away, but there's a ton of people buying a lot of shoes, making a lot of money. So I thought this was listed at 15. Okay, so maybe some of the colors are at 15. We just got to find the right one. So looks like the goofy colors are, the ones that definitely aren't as popular are at the lower prices. So unfortunately, we're not going to probably find this at the right price, because I know like these hats really only go for like $35 to $40 max. So we just have to find the right one here. So we have the Heritage. Yeah, this isn't the right one. This one looks like it could be the right one, 49, but again, like at $32 buy box, I mean, we're getting it for 24, not quite close enough. But let's just see if any other color variations. Nope, this is literally just the one. So we would have to have this. I mean, if this was, see, it's at 24, but if we found the one that was at 15, right? If this was for 15 for some reason, man, it's still not going to be super close. Oh, yeah, we're at 32 bucks here. So you can see some people are trying to tank the listing, whatever. It's been at 25, 26 in the past, but because there's less sellers on it recently, people are getting the buy box at 32. So let's just say hypothetically this is 32. That $15 we have are getting this for, times your 0.96, then it would be maybe a little profitable. Again, 35% on a clothing item. It's not huge, We are getting the rack 10-15%, which is nice, but again, this just isn't worth it for us. We know the $24 is definitely not worth it. So we're going to move on to that next product here. Let's see. I'll probably get through just these couple products here, and then I'm going to wrap it up tonight. But let's take a look at this shoe here. So this one's 15% discounted. That's pretty nice. Hopefully we can find something. I think the way this is going to be profitable is getting the sale price at like $100. So we have Nike Court Vision Low Nature. This looks like Court Vision Low. Let's take a look at this one here. Again, there's a lot of variations to choose for. If the rank is sub 15K, sub 10K, we can go pretty deep into the variations and still get, 5 to 10 sales or more per month, depending on what the Keepa data tells you. For this one, I think I'm going to stick to the actual ratings. So, because there's just a ton at this lower level. If it has reviews and if they're slowly increasing over the last 3 months, that's telling me that it's selling pretty well. So again, we want to find something that's at like the $100 range, or at least, 80s or 90s. Okay, so we have this one here, $96. Still has a ton of reviews, but it's the black swoosh. Is that even an option here? It is, but it's at $75. That's a bummer. So I don't think we're going to be able to get profitable there. Is this one even one that we can pick from? Come on, get off my screen. Okay, so we want this one, right? 75. Yeah, so I think it might just be the all black and all white that's actually profitable. So we can only look at the all whites, which is unfortunate, or the all blacks and the all whites. Yeah, see this one, $99. So it's just not cheap enough purchase price, but we see 67, 64, 61, 58. Yeah, these are like all selling for what we're buying, what we'd be able to buy them for. So not probably worth it. We have a size 14 here, 88. This might be a little bit better to look for. Let's just see what they're selling for here. Appreciate the 5 of you sticking with me, staying around for watching some sourcing. If you guys have any questions last minute, let me know. I'm definitely happy to answer them as I'm sourcing here. So this one probably lost the buy box because the price got a little bit too high. We can see when there's no buy box, you're going to probably have to list it at the lowest price. And we can see that lowest price is probably right around that $90, 94 maybe. Let's just take a look at the offer count and see who's selling this. Well, 88, they have 10 in stock. So we might have to list it around that $89.99. Maybe we can match the lowest, FBA seller. That puts us at a $52 buy cost. So don't think we're going to quite get there on price. We can see $60. Let's see what the gift card gets us. We have 60 times the 0.96, puts us at 57 again, 17% ROI, not good enough. We would need this to be at, so if this is our best price, we would have to be at 95, still doesn't get us there. We got to be like basically at 100. That's just for 32%. Again, 32% is just not good enough for, especially not for shoes. We're making $18 each, which means you have to sell 3 shoes just to be able to make money on 1 return. You get 1 return that's not sellable, $57. 18 times 3 is 54 or something. So you have to sell at least 3 just to break even for 1 return. When do you start sourcing for back to school? Will you FBM too? Yeah, back to school. I mean, I'm not quite sourcing stuff for that yet. Probably like once summer hits, I will just keep an eye out for stuff that I know sells well. It's a lot of like, if you can get into the school supplies cheap enough, obviously clothing, back to school, kids shopping, kids clothing does really well. The backpacks do insanely well. Just stuff that you would think going into new school year. And that stuff, yeah, you can kind of send stuff in till like end of July, early August, but then you kind of get to a point like mid-August where you probably want to merchant fulfill because there's kind of a short window up until like mid-September when that stuff, the velocities of some of those back to school items start to slow down. So you don't want to go, send stuff in early August, and then they kind of have an influx of stuff, and it takes a month for your stuff to check in, and all of a sudden you have 50 backpacks, that are finally getting listed like September 15th when everybody's been in school for a month and no one needs backpacks anymore. So don't want to get caught doing that. So once you get to like early to mid August, definitely want to transition to merch fulfilled some of those back to school items. But again, a lot of the clothing and stuff is going to sell like year round. Like t-shirts don't just stop mid September. They're going to keep selling and selling, all the way until it gets cold out. So if you find those types of items, they're going to always sell. But specifically like backpacks and school supplies and stuff might drop off or have a little bit of a dip in velocity, towards the end of September. So yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to find these at the right price here. So let's just, if we sort by current, right, we can see maybe the top one. So the most expensive shoe even here, which is not a good variation, is 110. We have the size 6.5 for 105, which is, it doesn't sell really all the way, and we're already below 900, so we need to be over $100. Again, this one we can take a look. It's at 35, reviews, which isn't a ton. When we saw some of the other variations have like 200 to 300 reviews. But again, that $57 would be okay here. 43%, that's kind of, definitely a better price. There is actually a buy box here, which is cool to see. Just kind of came back recently, but there's not a ton of sellers, right? We can look at the data and see the offers tab. We can see that, there's not a ton of sales on something like this. If we go back to variations, we can kind of see how many reviews has this listing gotten recently. We can see it hasn't even gotten one rating in basically the last 3 months. So it tells me it's not selling all that often. So probably something I would avoid unless you go really small test buy. And then that's kind of, you can test it out, right? Sell 2 or 3 pairs, make 50, 60 bucks. Hope you don't get a return on that. And then, go from there. And then if you start selling more of them, or if you sell out quickly, maybe you can buy a couple more if you're still getting it on sale, and go from there. So one more product to go, then I'm going to wrap it up here. These high-waisted leggings, let's see. I don't know if this is even listed on Amazon or if it's worth it. Again, so we got the leggings here. Looks like it's a match, so we will we'll take a look here. And then we'll just make sure the sizes are right. We obviously want the most expensive one because if this is $30 is the max, it only can choose between extra small and small. So that's a little bit limiting here. So the small is 38. Smalls 38. These must be 2 different variations. Looks like the pattern's a little bit different. So this one, $38, and then we want the extra small, 36. So basically all we can choose from is this one. And again, if we're only at $30 and the buy box is 38, probably not going to get it profitable. So yeah, we're at 30 bucks, not even close. So that is all we got here. Let's see. We have, can you explain how something might be selling but no buy box or BSR? Yeah, if there's no buy box, so that's 2 different things really. If there's no buy box, right? If the buy box is not showing, it's still going to sell. There's still, it doesn't just go to no sales. It's going to sell less often. You'll see on certain variations where there is no buy box that if there was a buy box in the past, as soon as the buy box goes away and it's just, like see buying options here, then usually the rank kind of starts to creep up a little bit. But it still sells, right? But it's going to sell at the lowest price listed normally because basically all they're going to click on is this, and they're going to see it's basically normally the filter sorts by low to high. So it's going to see the cheapest prices first, whether it's, prime or not. And if it's a decent delivery time, I think like if you think like a consumer, decent delivery time is going to be, if it's a decent delivery time and it's like, let's say a merchant fulfilled is like 38 and the next best FBA order is like 40, 41. So you're paying $4 extra for prime shipping, but the non-prime shipping is only like a day or 2 slower. Then most people, if you think like a consumer, for me at least, I'm not going to pay $4 extra just to get it in 2 days unless, I actually need it by then. But if the FBM seller can get it to me a day later, right? 3 days, ooh, that's not too bad. So that's what you kind of have to think like. But again, the lowest price normally gets the sale. So even if FBM sellers are way lower, which normally they're not too bad, Here it's about the same. So you basically have to list it at $38 to get the sale if there was no buy box. If there's a buy box, you go off that price. Now, if there's no BSR, it's a little bit different. You want to make sure that you're looking at the again, look at the review count on the variation. If there's no BSR, look at like, is there reviews going on this product here, right? If you see this increase in review or ratings history over time, then you know that people are buying this and giving it a rating. Also, you can look at to see if the offer count is going up and down. If the offer count goes down in any way on a product with no BSR, right, no sales rank, then that just tells you people are selling out of their stock. And if it goes back up, people are, jumping on the listing. But then if you see these ups and downs, that's telling you that it's, people are selling out of their inventory and then dropping off the listing, which causes a decrease in sellers. So those are a couple different ways to see, and you definitely want to don't skip over all listings without a sales rank. Some of them, right, or just don't have a sales rank and they're really slow. Sometimes, like in the last 3 months, it just goes away for whatever reason. If you zoom out like a year, you can say, oh yeah, there is a buy, but there was a sales rank at one point. Maybe it was pretty decent, right? And then it just cuts out for whatever reason. And there's 3-4 months of no sales rank. And then you're kind of like, okay, well, most people aren't going to find this because it looks like it doesn't sell. But then you look into the data and you can see the offer count jumping up and down, tells you that you're actually going to sell. So that is my spiel on that. Definitely, there's some really good no rank items out there. I don't think we're going to find anything here. I don't even know if there's a match on like something like this. Yeah, it's just a solid color. This dual color isn't the best, so we're not going to look at that. The green probably doesn't sell very quick, so that is all we got today. Let's see. Thanks for the questions, Kevin. Always appreciated. I am happy to answer. So, all right. Hopefully you guys got something out of that. Probably end it here, but some good live sourcing. Hopefully you guys are buying, getting that 15% cash back, because I'm definitely taking advantage. If you are, hopefully you guys are too. So thanks for tuning in. I will see you on the next live, whenever that is.